guys, it's your girl Haneesya, Hanee.
I'm Charmaine.
I'm Hiba.
Alicia, Amin.
I'm Casey.
I'm Qistina.
I'm Mina. I personally suffer from depression and anxiety and this dreaded imposter syndrome. I'm sure many of us, especially women, can relate to my story.
I think my depression started mostly because of the birthmark on my face. I got bullied a lot when I was a kid, and it really made me feel like I was worthless and undeserving.
I think what I'm going through is depression. I believe I'm saying this. At first, I didn't believe that I had depression, but as I grow, things got worse.
I actually go through depressions back then. I guess it was during my teenager years. I feel very lonely and I cry a lot myself without telling anyone else, not even my parents, my siblings.
To open up my struggles that I faced during hard times and how I discovered I was depressed and had anxiety was when I had panic attacks.
I have depression, and I've been battling it for a long, long time. My source of depression comes from not feeling good enough or feeling like a burden, either one of those. And I've gone through a lot of setbacks in my life, which is why I always feel like I'm not good enough. And when I had cancer, I felt like such a burden because it took a toll on me, on my family.
I've struggled with anxiety and depression. It's a very hard thing to admit, but yeah, here I am. When I first got it, I couldn't understand what I was going through or why I felt the way I felt. You know, waking up every day miserable.
I didn't actually tell anyone that I was struggling from depression or anxiety for a very long time. I think because every time, even when I felt slightly sad and I showed it, people used to tell me, oh, get over it, why aren't you just happy, you know? Go have an ice cream or go do something and then all your problems will be solved, but that never happened.
I have suffered from ADHD since I was young and it was untreated for a long time. So I always felt like there was something wrong with me. The thoughts in my head just never shut off. I was just going all over the place in my brain. And I felt like it wasn't normal, you know, I felt like it wasn't how other people were. And that really got to me and that really affected me and I always wondered why, and that caused quite a bit of anxiety as well. I tend to spiral from, you know, having great thoughts about anything and everything, and then if I get caught on like a bad idea or a dark thought, you know, something as simple as, why am I like this? And then it just kind of dives into all sorts. And because of the ADHD, I can't really stop my brain. It just kind of keeps going. So that's quite tiring in terms of what goes on in my head. And that's how that actually brought the depression onset, actually. Yeah.
I remember trying to go through my days like I normally would. Go out, hang out with friends, be with family. But I always felt numb, and I always felt like I had to still look like I was happy so that the people around me wouldn't worry. Like I had to depend on people 100%. So last year was tough. And when I hit rock bottom, there were days where I just didn't want to see anybody. But I made it a point last year to get help. I think one of my friends had sent over like a message saying, oh, Monash University had a free counselor that we could go to and they were looking for clients. So I thought, why not?
I faced lack of appetite of eating and insomnia, and yes, I cry a lot again. So I try to seek for help besides friends to talk things out, and also I try to stay in a healthy lifestyle, like work out and be healthier.
I was confused as to why I felt the way I felt, because from how people look from the outside, it feels like my life is perfect. I travel around, I have a lot of things going on with my life, especially for my career, so why do I feel so miserable every single day? I couldn't give myself answers, and it was very, very, very frustrating for me.
So typically for me in a day with depression and ADHD, it's generally pretty normal. I mean, ADHD means that I'm very hyper. So with my depression, it kind of comes off as high functioning regardless.
Depression people need love, attention, and support. And thankfully, my family is the best that I could ever ask. So they gave me much love as I could, attention and support. So another thing is do what you love, and that's what I did. How depression actually feels like is actually like I want to be alone. All I want to do is cry. It's hard. Actually, it's even hard doing this video for you guys. To express the real feeling is what actually depression is. Because you don't know what you feel actually. At some nights, I couldn't sleep because I don't know what I'm feeling or what I'm thinking. At one point when I got really, really viral, that's when my mental got like.
I feel like a lot of us are going through the same thing. I think a lot of you guys can relate to my story, and it's just that I don't think we talk about this enough, you know? I feel like in our society, our community, this is such a taboo thing to talk about mental health, how you're feeling, coping with stress and anxiety, and what comes with success, whatever people want to call it. But yeah, I wanted to do this because it's just something that I feel is so important and not talked about enough.
For me, the reason, I came out and started telling my story honestly was because I think when you bottle everything inside, at least for me, it felt like such a prisoner. There's so many things that I was hiding, so many things that I was ashamed of in my past. And it was scary, to come out and tell the truth and to come out and get help because you're admitting that this is who I've become, right? But I think like the minute I did it, I did feel like a burden was lifted off me. I felt lighter because I was living my truth. I was not trying to pretend and hide and portray, this happy, smiley, always perfect Rozella in front of people.
I've learned throughout my journey that actually a lot of people actually suffer from anxiety or depression or any other mental health issues without a cause. You don't need a cause to trigger all these mental health issues, and that is why I think it's so important for me to use my platform and just to share and educate people about this. For those who are struggling with it, please go and seek help and know that you are not alone.
Try your best to seek for help. The easiest way is to talk to people, and trust me, it helps a lot. Just open up yourself and talk to people you trust the most, and the problem can be solved.
Please know that it is okay and everything is gonna be okay. But if you're going through depression, please seek help, because depression is easy. Depression, anxiety, insecurities, it comes to you when you allow it. For me, I tell everyone, it's like if you're mindset game is strong, nothing can bring you down.
So one day I sat down and I took a breather and I just zoomed in to just today. And even when today got really overwhelming, I zoomed in some more to this minute. The bigger the issue, the more you should scale it smaller. So take it a day at a time, literally a day at a time. Don't think about tomorrow, don't think about the next day. You just get through today. If you can't get through today, you scale it down smaller. Take it an hour at a time or a minute at a time, whatever that you need. And that has helped me tremendously throughout my whole journey.
Well, because I have come to terms with my illness and I have completely acknowledged and accepted that, you know, I am sick and there is something wrong with me. For me, it's trust the process. So I embarked on a journey to heal myself through medication and psychiatry, and it's a whirlwind, you know. Like, for example, today I completely forgot to take my medication and I'm just like, I'm all over the place. Yeah, you know, I haven't been like this for the past 3 months, and it just so happens that today I forgot to take and I really feel the difference. So I personally believe in trusting the process and really just listening to the medical advice that you've seeked out. Maybe listening to family and friends might not work, but if you really, really need help, go and see a medical professional. Like, I don't know how much more to stress this, because for me at least it has made all of the difference, and I personally believe that it will make the difference for anyone and everyone. Obviously it's hard to find a good psych that suits you, but trust that process of healing yourself and finding your way.
I think therapy has helped me a lot, and I do music therapy, I do art therapy, and a lot of meditating. And I would say that meditating helped a lot because it helped me to be more centered in my mind, and I'm more aware that my thoughts are just a moving train. It can go through, and whatever thoughts that come into mind, I can just let it pass through and just take the good ones. I hold on to one of my idols in Malaysia. She's called Lisa Suryani. I love her so much. So what she said was, you have to avoid the negativity because all of those negative comments aren't beneficial for your growth. So whatever that you see that is negative, if it doesn't benefit your growth, if you can't learn from it, then don't take it personally, because they've never walked in your shoes, they've never faced what you have faced, and they know so little about you. So whatever negativity that you have faced, don't sweat it, just move on and live on your life as strong as you can.